Welcome everyone to the video. This is the TRT and hormone optimization YouTube channel with Danny Bossa and myself. Welcome, Danny.
Hi, Steven.
And today, Danny wanted to explain a bit about his recent experience with Nandrolone or Deca. Go ahead, Danny.
Welcome to this channel. I am Dr. Steven de Vos, the lifting dermatologist, and this is my bro science hunting partner Danny Bossa. If you want to learn more about the most cutting-edge science-based information in the world of hormone optimization, please like and subscribe.
Click the bell button to get notified.
I also invite you to join my other YouTube channel, The Lifting Dermatologist. The link you can find in the description of this video.
Hey guys, so there's been a lot of talk about these extra things in the group. We've been talking about peptides and other substances and whatever. Me as the experimenter, I decided I was going to try something for a short amount of time. I'm not in the United States, as you know. I'm in Canada. And again, please keep in mind, I'm not a physician. I'm just using myself as a guinea pig, nothing more. In Canada, there is, you're not allowed importing any of this stuff, and you're definitely not allowed selling any of this stuff. But I checked the laws, and for personal use, it's not criminalized. There's no issue. So I was able to get my hands on one little vial, and I said, I'm going to try this for a given number of weeks just to see what effect it has, and then I can report back. This is not something I can really take long term because no doctor is going to prescribe it to me. I'm not really comfortable just buying stuff on the black market. This was really just a short-term experiment to see what effect that this would have, because there's been so much discussion about it. So as you all know, I've been on TRT for many years, and I've got my levels up a fairly decent place where I pretty much eliminated all of my symptoms. Brain fog, I get better sleep, libido, erection strength, all these different types of areas were covered quite well. I got my dose dialed in. I found the dose that works for me. Been doing daily injections. Sometimes I even do every other day if I miss an injection. No big deal. I'll just double up on that one day to make up for the lost day, and everything is pretty fine there. The one thing that never really got resolved was kind of two things. I have two partially compressed vertebrae in my back. So if I'm to the side like this and I bend, you'll kind of see that there's like a bump around here where it doesn't really, I can't bend over and just keep my back flat. Everything will just curve. And I got two spots that just don't bend. And in those spots, there's obviously because of the lack of flexibility, there's always some inflammation, there's always pain. The pain will vary from almost nothing to sometimes debilitating. And I frequently get like the sciatic nerve type thing. Again, sometimes it's just a mild annoyance. Sometimes it's so debilitating, I'm literally just, sobbing. The pain is completely unbearable. So that's something that TRT was never really able to fix. I didn't think it really would. Did it help a bit? Perhaps, but it didn't really, fix it, and I didn't expect it to. And the second thing that I found I had often, and I think it's just a matter of aging, is when I get up in the morning, I find that I'm very, very, very stiff. It's kind of sore, stiff. Even if I didn't train the day before, I just feel very sore, very stiff. I get out of bed, and I find it takes me like a good half hour to limber up. And sometimes that half an hour might be even several hours. I just feel tight. Everything is tight. Everything is stiff. Everything is sore. I don't feel limber. If I get to bend down, I bend down carefully. So those were two things that I guess just being on TRT didn't fix. So I decided to try a very, very low dose of Nandrolone because of the benefits that everybody's touting about joint pain, reduction of inflammation, even well-being. So I decided that for a 4-week period, I was going to try 100 milligrams a week. So I was able to get some locally, and I've done that. So I'm basically going to report what my experience is. Now before I do, some of you have made comments and PMs and say, oh, you look like you got bigger. Yeah, I got bigger. Why did I get bigger? Well, I've been training 6 days a week in my gym. So you all know, I've said in many, many videos that I hadn't trained for about a year period. Bought a house, my wife had a child and whatever. We built a home gym, and we finally got training in, I think it was about September. I think it was about beginning of September. So I've been training 5 to 6 days a week now for the last 2 months solid. So yes, that's kind of why I've added a little bit of mass. Obviously, I don't think it was really related to my short little bit with Nandrolone. So I decided I was going to split it up. A lot of people said I could just take it, once a week. I decided I was going to split it up into twice a week. So I took 50 milligrams twice a week, and I said I'm going to do this for 4 weeks. I think I did about a total of 5 weeks. Actually, come to think of it now, it was a total of 5 weeks. Within about a week and a half, the pain that was in my back that was constantly there vanished. And I mean, it's gone. It's like it doesn't exist. And I've literally done things to try to make it hurt. All the different types of movements, bends, whatever, that would normally set it off. One thing in particular would be just slouching in my chair would set it off. If I slouched on the couch or slouched in my chair for a long enough time, it would flare up. And whatever I tried right now, I had no pain. The second thing is I wake up in the morning now and I get out of bed kind of like I'm 15 years old. Like there's just no stiffness, no snoriness, no pain. Everything feels limber. Everything feels loose. It's been kind of life-changing and scary at the same time, knowing that it's not really a legal substance in North America, especially in the US, but Canada's laws here are a little bit more lax, but even then there's no doctor that will prescribe this to me. If I go to a doctor and complain of these things, he's going to give me a bunch of pain meds, anti-inflammatories, pain meds, and that stuff is probably way worse than me, but it's legal and it's prescribed. So it's put me into somewhat of a dilemma of, I can't do this long-term. So what now? In regards to strength or size or whatever in the gym, I must admit I felt perhaps a little bit stronger. I don't know if I could say that much stronger, and it could all be subjective. It could be, a placebo effect of, I'm on something extra. My strength in the gym did go up a bit, but I mean, I've been training now 6 days a week for 2 months. So I'm still on that curve where results are going to come fast. So it's kind of hard to say how much of that was Nandrolone or not. I'm thinking it's pretty small. In regards to cognition, alertness, clarity of thought, I have had improvements there, but I've also been taking thyroid, and I increased my dose of thyroid recently. And now I do feel quite good. I feel like the way I always thought I should have felt, I finally feel that now. Was a portion of that the Nandrolone, or was it all the thyroid again, to be seen? So I'm going to be stopping that now. I'm going to see, how much of that clarity of thought I keep if I do it was from the thyroid. So as I said, it's an interesting dilemma, as this is something that I wish I could just go to a doctor and said, I tried this thing and it's great. Can I just be on this? Problem is I have no idea what the long-term health effects would be by taking even just a small dose that long. There's guys that have messaged me about this saying they've taken as little as 5 milligrams a day. I did 100, so I'll give myself a reasonable dose and see. I probably could have gotten just the same results with 50 or perhaps 30 or 20 or maybe 10 or maybe even 5. Who the hell knows? Could I experiment on that one day? Perhaps, but this stuff is, it's making me change the way I think about TRT in general, of how some of these things are just frowned upon. And I think a lot of them are misunderstood. And I'm wondering if really, really tiny doses of these things have any type of long-term effects. I do want to have some doctors on that can discuss what those things might be. If the doctor was to come on and say, well, even at a tiny dose, you're putting yourself at risk for this. Okay, great. Forget it there. So I just thought I'd share. You have seen me do posts on T Nation and in the group and comments on YouTube that, yes, I've tried this. I'm going to be open and honest that, yes, I've tried this. It's not something I plan on doing long-term. But it honest to God does everything that everyone says it does. So yeah, I just thought I'd share my experience.
Okay, thank you, Danny, for sharing. I guess a lot of people will be very interested in that. Thanks.